here we go. I'm drinking from a rather Christmassy mug this morning, but I just like it so much that I drink it all year. Good morning. Good to have you here. My name is Melissa Eick. Happy to be streaming. Happy to be doing some sprints this morning. Happy Camp NaNoWriMo if you are doing Camp NaNoWriMo. If you're doing a replay, very glad to have you here. Hope that you can get a lot done. We will do 3 25-minute sprints. And excuse me, that's about all I have to share. Just as I was clicking the button to start, I bumped my very fussy USB port, like multi-port little deal, and knocked everything out. So I had to exit the live stream, plug it all in, and re-enter. But everything was fine. Well, if you are writing this morning, if you are working on something this morning, I'd love you to hear what that is. So put in the comments, and let's just jump in to our first 25-minute sprint. Let's get going. I'll talk to you after. I just wrote the word sushi in my morning pages. Excuse me. We had Melanie. And we had Chandra join in. Good to see both of you. Melanie, oh, thank you. I know it makes me happy every time. I spent, I would say, a solid 20 minutes listening to chimes before I decided on that one. How is that? Melanie, I hope that you are not up so early, or that it's because you weren't able to sleep. Everyone has nights like that, though. So whatever got you up this early, I'm glad that you are at least using the time, right? I've definitely been there. And yes, I choose to get up this early. Although after taking a trip to visit family over the weekend, definitely more tired this week. It's been a lot of times I get up out of bed. My alarm goes off at 4:45, and I'm pretty good, pretty solid, but I'm just pretty tired from more activity and stimulation than usual over the weekend. But I'm hanging in there. I was working on morning pages, which is something that has been super, super helpful and revelatory and therapeutic and eye-opening in my life for about 2.5 years. And I got away from it mostly during the month of May and early June because I was using every spare moment to work on a project. And then it took me the rest of June to finally remember, this would be a good thing to start back up again. So I'm always so glad when I do it. So that's what I was doing during this sprint. I had to remind myself, yes, I have a project that I'm working on. I do not need to, pour every drop of my energy and every minute into it. That was a special time. I can take the time now to do the morning pages because it's really important to me. Okay, let's see here. My voice is still warming up for the day. Okay, Melanie says, managed to reread a full chapter and write my editorial notes. That's a lot. I'm no professional editor, but in 25 minutes, that seems like a lot to me. Chandra, I'm reading and need to write some, but I haven't started yet. Reading, of course, being a very important contributing factor. Sure, to a writer's process. I was just able to sleep. Oh, shoot. Between 2:30 and 5:30. Haven't been up since 5:45. I didn't have a day job. I do this every day for sure. Right. I understand that. Sorry you weren't able to sleep. I hope you get better sleep tonight. But I understand that happens. Yeah. My work is something I'm very passionate about, but then sometimes I'm like, I would like to just keep writing today, but I don't work Fridays, which is a huge blessing, so I can do that then. Hey there, Yaza. Good to see you. Just had dinner and ready to write. Nice. Yes. Okay, so Julia Cameron, author of The Artist's Way, that is where I heard it from. I have read excerpts from The Artist's Way, but I heard about it through a YouTuber I follow named Amy Landino. That's where I first heard about it. And then I did some research about it and discovered that it was originally her idea. Have you read that book, Chandra? That's one that has been on my reading list for a while. I follow her on Instagram. She just seems like the loveliest person. And I find her so inspiring because when I was doing research, I did a podcast episode about my morning pages experience. And so I did a little bit of extra research on her. She published that book something like 25 years ago. And then I love this idea that she put it out there. I have no idea. Maybe it was super popular all throughout the 25 years, But then along comes this form of technology that no one could have known about at the time called YouTube. People find her book and they start sharing about it. And she had the book and her message has this whole renaissance. 25 years later, I feel like there's so much emphasis, at least in American culture, I don't know about elsewhere, that you have to do something. And if it isn't successful right away, then it's just like toss it aside, or maybe it wasn't worth your time. And there's not a lot of allowance for the fact that actually something can grow over time. You do it now and you never know what's going to come from it. I find that story super inspiring. I should have her on my podcast. Do you see a light bulb over my head? It's there. You just can't see it. How cool would that be? Oh my gosh, I want to do it. All right. Thanks everyone for being there with me during that moment. I better write it down. Okay, I got to find the right journal. Okay. Hi, guys. I'm not sure if you remember me. I've seen other streams. Yes, I'm sure you've both been in and around other live streams for sure. I know you've both been in, I'm pretty sure you've both been in AllyDeatherage's. Good morning, Elizabeth. Elizabeth, guess what? My mom started, I think, the first book in your, excuse me, I'm sorry, in your quilting series. I think she started it on Sunday. And she texted me, if you'll all permit me a moment. She texted me Monday evening. I'm reading Quilt of Innocence. I'm about 40% in, and I think I know who did it. I'll let you know if I'm right. Time will tell. And then she must have stayed up. I didn't even put this together. That was at 8:30 Monday night. She texted me at 10 a.m. yesterday. I was correct. Enjoyed the story very much. We'll try the next one soon. So there you go. She just like inhaled it. So I wanted to let you know that. It's so cool. The meshing of worlds. Elizabeth writes Cozy Mysteries. I suggested them to my mom when I was visiting over the weekend. Oh, Chandra has read The Artist's Way. Okay, very good. I have not heard anything but very positive reviews for that book. Okay, I'm going to have to do it. Yes, other streams. I found it from Carrie Washington on Instagram. Okay, very cool. Carrie Washington does morning pages. That's awesome. I love learning little bits and pieces about people's life like this. Yeah, I bet you're right. Marissa Moe, I know that name. Where do I know that name from? I will look it up. I think you're saying do it in the context of having Julia Cameron on. I'm gonna reach out. I'm gonna see what happens. I agree. It would be awesome. Little old me, would you like to come on my podcast, ma'am? She seems like the type who'd be up for it. Yeah. I think you have found a new fan in my mom, Glenda. Okay, I know I'm chatting away. This has been a very fun little chat with everybody, but let's go ahead and get our next sprint fired up. 25 minutes. So let's see. Chandra, Melanie, and Yaza. I know Elizabeth has said she's not doing camp because Elizabeth's just, always just writing. So I'm gurgling. I apologize. But Chandra, Yaza, Melanie, are you all doing camp? It sounds like it. Or maybe you're just doing your normal writing thing. Let me know what you're working on if you would like in the comments, and I'll talk to you all in 25 minutes. Hello. Welcome back from the stream, the sprint. I was like thinking to myself, I need to turn my music down. It's pretty tired. It's a pretty tired morning this morning. I see I'm not the only one. I see I'm not the only one feeling this way. We had such great chat going on. Let's catch up and see. Let's see here. Oh, okay, great. Melanie was asking about Elizabeth's series. Okay, doing camp. I have a lot of projects going on. You're doing camp to get in words for your first ghostwriting project. That's so cool, Melanie. You got all sorts of irons in the fire, don't ya? Doing camp, Chandra's working on the second half of a fantasy book. That's excellent. Just using camp to continue the project that you're already working on. That's great. Okay, Elizabeth was talking about her different series. They're all on Amazon and they have adorable covers. Yeah, as I said, the funny thing about Ally streams are I'll wake up around 5 a.m., say hello. I'll just rest my eyes for a little while and fall asleep and miss the whole dang thing. Honestly, by the time Ally's sprint start or HKs and I've worked the whole day, I get to them and it's like late afternoon, early evening, and I have trouble keeping my eyes open sometimes at that point. Sometimes I will go and do a little nap sprint during those so that I can finish my night. So I understand. It's like reverse parts of the world, and yet the same thing happening. Oh, that's awesome. We have a connection, an authorial connection. That's fantastic. Yazza says, I do have a new July project, but not sure if I'd call it camp. Oh, okay. Sure. I understand that. Just happens to coincide with Camp NaNoWriMo, and then it's fun to get caught up, like, you know, the energy of everyone, people doing a bunch of live streams all the time. The nonprofit NaNoWriMo has a Twitter account too, called Nano Word Sprints. That was my first source for word sprints back in 2017. And so, especially during November, but sometimes during camp as well, a lot of the day they'll have different people on there just leading sprints via Twitter. And so I enjoy those still as well. Yeah, as I said, it's one of those projects that are like, this could be good, I don't know, or it could be an abomination. You got to write it first to know if it's good or an abomination, or perhaps somewhere in between those two. Melanie says, those are the most fun projects to work on. Your ghostwriting project is a sci-fi romance, and you've never written that genre before. Super interesting, Melanie. Flexing the old writing muscles, learning new genres. Very cool. Ally Alexis. Hello, Ally Alexis. I hope you're feeling better today. I just watched the weirdest, most romantic movie ever, Just Like Heaven. Oh, is that with Reese Witherspoon and Mark Ruffalo? I think I went and saw that in the theaters with a friend in like 2006 or something like that. I don't remember a lot about it, just the big garden. It was really pretty. And the couch, if I'm right. Oh, hello, greetings amongst friends. Oh, Melanie. Yeah. You've edited 3 chapters in the past hour. That is a great start to your day. Yeah. Go and see if you can take a little mid-morning nap. I hope you're able to. Thanks for joining. I mean, it was wonderful to have you, even if it probably won't happen again because you're normally sleeping during this time, but we'd be happy to have you anytime. Thanks. Oh, I see it. Okay, we'll read this one first. Melanie wrote, why did I tag myself? I swear I clicked. Melissa, like, yeah, sleepy time because you wrote, thanks for hosting, Melanie. Thank you, Self, for hosting. Oh, man, that's funny. Yes, hopefully you will be able to join us again after a full night of actual restful sleep. Hope you go get some good rest. Elizabeth got some work done on an outline and answered some emails. That's great. Sometimes answering emails is a very time-consuming process, so that's great. Cheddar's still reading. I'm at a good point in the book. Hard to tear yourself away. Also journaling. Are you journaling about life? Or are you journaling about the book? This is not exactly the same thing at all, but a few weeks ago I did a Lord of the Rings day where I watched all 3 movies in a day. And those, I mean, I've read the Lord of the Rings as well. And they mean so much to me that I knew I had to have my journal next to me to write down my thoughts as I was watching, because there's just too many thoughts to keep them all in my head. It was really like cathartic. Okay, Mark was in it. Our pal Mark Ruffalo was in it. An excellent movie. Maybe I'll have to watch it again. It's been so long since I've seen it. Journaling about life, but you're right. Maybe not every single book needs to be journaled about, but then also, why not, right? Okay, we can hop into our last 25-minute sprint of the morning. I always wish that I could, not always, many times wish I could keep going for longer. But that's what Friday mornings are for. I'll start at 7:30 on Friday morning. Okay, let's go. I'll talk to you in 25 minutes. One second. I gotta finish this thought. Thanks. Oh my, what's happening here? Okay. Hello. Okay, I hope that it was a good final sprint for everyone. Elizabeth took off. AllyDeatherageArt popped on to join us. I realized something. So one of my goals for Camp Nano, I set a goal to write 20,000 words on my memoir during Camp Nano, but before doing that, the bigger goal was to just so much has changed since the first draft of this memoir, and I did some work on it last summer briefly for like a few days here and there, but to make an actual plan. And I did that during HK/AllyDeatherage's live streams last night. I did a fresh new outline. I was like, oh, okay. Still like working some things out. Sometimes I can outline to a degree, but then sometimes I have to write some stuff to see what direction it's going. I like a micro outline, but it's a little bit different, I think, when writing a story about my life and experiences and how to package them in the best way and signpost them in the best way that it will, so that other people can get something out of it. But I'm pleased with the direction that it's going. And so one thing that I have not written about yet is the experience of co-founding my nonprofit, the Dragonfly Home, where we serve victim survivors of human trafficking. And I didn't want to just tell that story chronologically. It's also, there's so much that has happened in a little over 5 years. I wasn't really sure where to begin. And so over this past year, I've had some ideas here and there that have popped up that I wrote down. And finally, just now this morning, I had written a bunch of just references to different things that have happened on some note cards a while back. And I've added to that over this last year-ish. If I just think of something that I might write about, I added a little note card. And so I divided those up this morning. I decided which ones I was not going to write about and realized, I have a pretty decent, some pretty decent ideas for an approach to how to tell this story that has been so massive in my life, to tell the parts that will be interesting and helpful to others. At least I think they are. Stories that I've told other people in conversation that they seem to find interesting, or in public speaking about Dragonfly. So, sorry. Oh boy. Okay. So I divvied those up this morning, and I was just like, I think I have an actual writing plan. I just got to get a draft of this done. It's going to take many shapes and forms and iterations and edits and all that in the future, but I have something I can write now. I'm really excited about it. I feel like just this part, just writing about Dragonfly, could take up my 20,000 word goal. I mean, I'm sure I would edit it down from that, but I tend to need to write more and then pare back from it. But it's a lot of story to tell. And I also realized that there are parts of my podcast episodes that I can totally pull from for this book. And I was like, well, that's pretty nice. That's cool. Wow. The memoir inspired the podcast. And so for the podcast to go back and feed into the memoir, and I just can't even believe it. I love it when stuff like that happens. I love it when a plan comes together. What is that? A-Team. The captain guy with the cigar. I can't think of his name right now. Okay, anyway. Oh my gosh, and then Allie said, I keep turning off my mouse. Why? Allie said almost the exact same thing. It's all coming together. Okay. Yaza says hello to Allie. Hope you're well. Greetings, greetings, greetings from Chandra. Chandra, I read more, and you're planning a trip. A trip to where, Chandra? Where are you going? A trip would be fun. Haven't been anywhere but Iowa in, well, years, honestly. More greetings. Yes, hooray. Well, I can let you all take a second to reply if you want while I tidy up my workspace. And I got to get out of here pretty soon for a meeting. But I'm really excited now because tonight, what's today? Wednesday? I know a bunch of people are streaming, but I know at least HK will be streaming. And maybe I can stream hop for some others as well. And whoops, my pencil. And actually get some writing done on this. Very exciting. All right. Well, thank you to everybody who joined today. It was so wonderful. I appreciate you all being here. Hope you got some stuff done. Hope you have a wonderful day. And I think there's a very excellent chance that I will see all of you perhaps tonight in other live streams. Allie's off to teach. Okay. Hope your class goes well, Allie. And I hope that all of you have a wonderful day. I'll see you again soon, my friends.